Good morning, everyone, and welcome to join Auntie's last open webinar for 2024. Before we give our presenter the stage, I do want to remind you that your microphones are muted. So if you feel like sharing your thoughts, ideas, something to maybe ask, please use the chat functionality. And as always, I would like you to leave us questions via the Q&A section. Before we dive in, I also want to remind you that, hey, Auntie's registration pages have been updated as a matter of fact a few days ago. So I would also warmly recommend everyone to go and have a look at your latest and greatest version of your updated registration page. We are really happy with the latest update. The goal of that work was simply to make your experience with Auntie's service even more enjoyable and to be able to select the correct package even more easily. We are dealing with the topic of tackle the Christmas stress today, so a very acute topic for most of us, since at the end of the year usually gives this idea that we have to get everything done before the year ends. So how to alleviate that stress and kind of enjoy also the holiday times that we're fastly moving towards. Our expert for today is our lovely Mia Hafrén. So without further ado, I will give the stage to you, Mia. The following 30 minutes are yours. Take it away.
Thank you very much. And welcome also from my behalf. We're going to talk about how to tackle the Christmas stress. And just before we go on to that, I want to quickly introduce myself. My name is Mia Hafrén. I am a solution-focused brief therapist since 5 years, and I've been collaborating with Auntie for about 3 years. I'm also a singer, an actor, that's what I do. And some fun facts about me, I don't know if it's fun, but it's a fact that I used to tour the world with an a cappella group named Fork. So that's that, but on to the topic. Okay, so it's not unheard of that when you're on vacation, you suddenly realize that, okay, this is it. I am now on vacation and already half of it's gone. And soon it's going to end. And what have I done? Maybe your mind has been very occupied with work stress, and maybe you've been just so focused on forgetting work that you haven't actually been able to be present. So to avoid this, I will today do my best to give you tools on how to get ready for your vacation, for your holiday, and how to prepare for it to be a good one. So we're going to talk about preparing for a holiday, and we're going to talk about ensuring recovery. And in the end, there's going to be time for questions and comments if you feel like it. All right, so does this sound familiar? The pace at work picks up before Christmas holidays. Or I feel that I have to earn a holiday. I have to really push myself before the holiday so that I can relax. Or during Christmas holiday, it's very difficult to detach from work. Or there's a constant rush at home. How will I manage to find the perfect gifts, perfect food, and so on? Or I'd love to spend Christmas just quietly, but I have all these obligations I need to do. So Christmas holiday is just around the corner, and wherever you go, you can hear Christmas carols playing in stores, and the lights are blinking beautifully in windows. And for many of us, our thoughts are already turning to Christmas holiday plans. For some of us, Christmas can be a very emotional time, as it is considered to be the highlight of annual traditions worldwide, which is celebrated with certain rituals. It is very important to recognize that in the midst of completing work tasks, the pressure from holiday-related expectations and demands from loved ones can add to the stress. So it's no wonder that stress increases when we take a moment to reflect on these rather maybe familiar sounding comments. So how can we ease? Oh, I'm sorry. There. How can we ease into holiday calmly and prepare for it before it officially begins, so that the holiday and its start don't add more stress to our lives? And between all the things we need to do, how can we ensure that the holiday supports our recovery and helps us relax after a long and maybe dark fall? There we go. So, okay, I'm going to just take a short moment to talk about research done about the importance of holidays for well-being. Research shows that holidays have a positive impact on well-being. No surprise there, right? Holidays might ease tiredness, increase overall satisfaction, and reduce health challenges. People tend to feel happier, more energetic, and better when on holiday. During holiday, we have more freedom to do things we choose, such as spending time in an environment that we like, or being with our loved ones, which also, of course, strengthens our resources. Studies have also found that employees who take and plan to take a holiday are significantly happier than other employees before the actual holiday starts. So just the thought of knowing I'm about to go on holiday soon might help increase your well-being. So it's not a bad thing to know when the next vacation is coming up. Perhaps somewhat contradictorily, however, some studies have found that workers' well-being in turn falls sharply just before a holiday. And this has been explained by the stress of the days leading up to a holiday, as we often feel we need to finish all our work before going on holiday. And during the Christmas period, many colleagues also tend to go on holiday at the same time, so which makes it, of course, challenging to find somebody to delegate or coordinate tasks with. And speaking of the Christmas holidays, various personal tasks and preparations, such as serving Christmas food, buying presents, and so on, have also found to increase demands, stress, and pressure. A study on winter holidays found that well-being improved during the holiday for the majority of vacationers, but not everyone experienced this positive effect. Those workers who did feel better during the holiday were the ones who had been active, engaging in some kind of physical activities, and done things they enjoyed. And they have also, by doing that, managed to avoid unpleasant experiences. A little bit more about effects. Mental well-being has been found to improve over a 4 to 5 day holiday. So even a short holiday can be beneficial. And of course, the length of the time away from work needed for physical recovery will vary, depending on the workload of the employee. The more stressed we are, the longer the period of time away from work is needed for effective recovery. And studies show that positive well-being and health effects of holidays seem to last only for about 2 to 4 weeks after the holiday. So once back at work, the workload might even increase and work might be even busier. Since the well-being benefits of a holiday fade quickly, it's a good idea to schedule holidays throughout the year if possible, and to prioritize recovery also during regular days as well. Okay, so now we know all these facts. A holiday is, of course, more refreshing when you carefully plan both the time before and after the holiday. And also, it's essential to take time to prepare the leisure time as well. So what can you do to help yourself to a great holiday? Let's see. Well, first we have the planning the transition from work to holiday well in advance. Take a moment and think about your duties realistically. How much time do I need to get things in holiday order at work. It's very good to plan ahead so we can avoid last-minute panicking and closing the laptop just 1 minute before we're rushing out of the office and into holidays. Because then the work stuff will be occupying our minds much more. If it's possible to avoid taking a new big task right before the holiday, that's maybe a good thing. If you can't avoid it, then make sure you have enough space to work around it. And also time to finish things you want to get done before holidays. Make a list of what you have on your table, what goes where, what is in the list needs to be done before vacation, what can wait until after vacation, what is critical, and what is less urgent. And then we have self-compassion. Please remember it. You're not supposed to get everything 100% done. That's not how we do it. That's not how we can do it. Life is a process. And if you feel it's hard to feel compassion towards yourself, then you can practice it by thinking out loud what you would say to a colleague who's stressing about these things. How would you support them to a smooth transition into a holiday? Now, when you think about it and then you say it out loud, that could be a good support for yourself. And by that, you're practicing your self-compassion. So you have all these work tasks that need to get done at some point. Now you need to prioritize. What does it mean? Well, actually, prioritizing is usually means leaving something out. Think about prioritization of tasks well in advance. Which task do you know you should accomplish in advance so you can get a peace of mind during the holiday? Which task can continue after the holiday? What do you need to do with them before the holiday? Which tasks are important but not so urgent that you couldn't move and maybe have them wait until later? And do you have tasks that are neither important nor urgent? Could you maybe delegate those to somebody else? Or maybe they are even tasks that you have to get rid of somehow. Maybe even ignore or eliminate them. Reserve time to do the task, because our brain, of course, gets burdened from unfinished work. We start thinking about it all the time. So plan and make a to-do list. What is realistic? How do I divide big tasks to smaller chunks? Do I maybe need help with this? How do I cope with the feeling of not getting everything done? With the feeling of not having things completed? When you feel it, you understand where it comes from. Okay, this is me again feeling that I would actually have to do everything, but I know it's not possible. So I'm just going to check this feeling. I'm going to say hi to it and I'm going to let it go. And I'm going to learn to live with it. Don't let the feeling decide for you. You can actually do differently than you feel. It's good to make sure you have something nice waiting for you when you get back to work. And then it's good to try to remember to make time for ad hoc things. Otherwise, they might completely destroy your well-made prioritization. And you might want to and need to ask for help. It's the manager's responsibility to help with prioritization if there are loads of important things to get done. What should be done now and what are transferred to after the holidays? And as I said before, maybe the prioritization reveals some tasks that would be actually good to delegate or transfer to someone else altogether. In some professions, some workplaces, it's possible to negotiate some extra time to handle tasks rather than pushing them to get them done and then being super tired once you get on holiday. So it's always a good thing to ask and negotiate and maybe practice those skills of negotiation and be firm. Also, if somebody else is handling your work during the holiday, then maybe it's good to remember to book time to educate that person if necessary. Okay, For each of us, Christmas and the holiday atmosphere it means very different things, and we each create it in our own way. However, the days leading up to Christmas are often very busy for many. And the pressure at work before the holiday and after work, and there's pressure at work before the holiday, and after work you still need to manage the things that you need to get done before Christmas and Christmas Eve, like gift shopping, meals, cleaning. And at the same time, there might be social obligations with holiday parties, Christmas events, and whatever you have that you're used to do. And it's important to remember that even the enjoyable aspects can actually add stress and strain. So planning ahead applies not only to work, but also to leisure time and Christmas preparation. And the same goes for Christmas preparation. Start early. Stress can be reduced by beginning the preparation early enough and allow plenty of time, so the feeling of rushing doesn't take over. And starting early, of course, requires careful planning. What can I do ahead of time? The key to Christmas preparations, like any other task, is the focus on what's most important to you. If time is tight, prioritize and trim down where possible, just as you would do with work tasks. And as I said, stress often arises from the pressure of gifts, food preparation, cleaning, organizing, all as well as maybe also the potential budget concerns. And it's helpful to pause and reflect on these aspects. What is truly essential for you this Christmas? And what is simply just maybe expected? Where can I lower my standards? Or simplify things? Or maybe skip certain things? I mean, could we, for example, agree with family members not to buy gifts for adults, or at least limit it to one gift per person? Could we maybe use gift wrapping services at the store? Maybe ready-made meals, or some products that are already prepared? When will we visit who and where? Is it really necessary to visit everybody during your Christmas holiday? And then we have delegation. Don't try to handle everything by yourself, just as with work tasks. Please consider to delegate. For example, could each family member take a specific responsibility? Maybe we could talk about celebrating Christmas in turns at different locations. What level of cleaning is enough? Will somebody really check your corners for dust, or can you maybe just focus on smaller things? And if you want to get it really clean, maybe you can ask help from somebody who knows how to do it properly. But also here, the most important point is to be kind to yourself. Remember to listen to yourself and your own wishes for holidays. It's crucial to be aware of and communicate openly about your plans and wishes, to set your own boundaries and find ways to compromise with the expectations and wishes of those around you. Okay, so just a holiday takeoff. What do we need to remember? Write down unfinished tasks clearly so that your mind doesn't have to keep reminding yourself on holiday. And then it's also easier to get back to them once you return to work. Organize your office space at the office or at home, wherever you work for, so the things are neat and clean. This helps in transitioning and also helps you when you get back to work. If it's possible in your line of work, don't promise availability in your out of office message. If something very important happens at work, I'm sure you will hear it. Don't make yourself irreplaceable. You can also promise in your out of office message that after you return, you will try to answer the message in 2 weeks' time. which give you time to smoothly transition back to work and have less stress, rather than trying to answer every email after your holiday on your first day at work. And then if it's possible to clean up your electronic environment. If you have a work phone, shut it off. If not, then at least can you maybe hide the apps to a folder so you can't see them. Turn off your notifications. If you belong to a WhatsApp group with work, can you just put it on quiet for a while? All right, so now we're on vacation. Now we have to relax, right? Well, it's not always so easy, especially if the fall's been very fast for you and a lot of things on your mind. So let's see what we can do to help ourselves recover during the holiday. In working life, we are constantly faced with different and demanding tasks that drains our resources and physical energy. Without enough time to recover, our stress symptoms and overall malaise increase. You can think that recovery starts when the demands of work are no longer present, and only when the mind stops thinking about work. So successful recovery requires detachment from work. And even a good short holiday can be beneficial. It's very individual what kind of things helps us recover. One prefers to spend quiet time alone. The other is maybe best refreshed in the company of others. A third forgets work matters with a favorite sporting activity. A fourth reads a book on a sofa at home. A fifth, all of the above. A sixth, none of the above. The key to recovery may not be what you actually do, but recognizing what works for you. Because doing things that you enjoy is really good for recovery and well-being. So make sure that you set aside enough time for relaxation in the Christmas rush. Clearly communicate your needs to your loved ones. Remember the importance of autonomy for your recovery. You have the right to decide how you spend your time during the holiday. And it's very good to communicate this to your loved ones. Amid your own wishes and expectations of those around you, it's important to distinguish between what you can control and what you cannot. And you can say that recovery can be seen as successful when the body has been resting long enough to replace the resources used and when we feel able and ready to resume at work. Okay, so now to the maybe most difficult part, our wishes and expectations, because that's what we have when it comes to Christmas very often. We want everything to be perfect. The tree should look like this, the food should taste like this, the kids should be happy, and the parents and the partners and everybody should just enjoy everything, and the right music and the right atmosphere and so on. And when we are really only focusing on that, we get so disappointed when something else happens. And actually, in that moment, we miss all the fun that's going actually on around us. So you need to think about this. What do you want from your Christmas break? What is the current level of your energy and well-being? How are you right now? If you're under a lot of pressure, can you make sure and allow enough time for relaxation and recovery? Just time to be. We have all these different traditions and ways of celebrating Christmas with friends and family and so on. And it can create different pressures and expectations of how we should use our time. So ask yourself, what are my hopes and wishes and expectations for this Christmas holiday? What are the hopes and wishes and expectations of my loved ones? Can we somehow maybe align these expectations and discuss them in advance? Because if the feeling before holiday is already overwhelming, we might be heading in the wrong direction. So setting boundaries, managing expectations, and making compromises. And you might, if you feel really stressed and this is difficult, just take a little bit a distance to the whole thing and think about, well, in 10 years, what do I want to remember from this Christmas? What's really, really important to me? Is it really that everything is so tidy and neat in the corners? Or is it something else? How should I use my Christmas holiday time? And then we return to work sooner or later. The same rules apply when coming back to holiday than when starting it. Give yourself time and room to adjust yourself back to working life. If you can start in the middle of the week, well, that makes it a little bit easier. Please make time for ad hoc things, getting the hang of the work routines and answering emails, and continue doing holiday things on your free time. And remember that recovery is not just for holiday, but it's actually a thing that should be happening all the time. So here are the blocks for a relaxing holiday. Organizing work before the holiday. Check your hopes and expectations. What do I want and need? What can I let go? And what's really important to me? And ensure recovery. How do I take that in consideration during the holiday? Are you going to be active? How active are you going to be? What is something you like to do? And then, what would be the one key takeaway from today? What one thing could you do today to start planning for a better, better holiday? And I like to leave it with Maya Angelou's wise words. And I don't know if any of you have seen the movie What About Bob with Bill Murray, but he says in that movie, I'm going to take a vacation from my problems. And there's something in that I really enjoy. All right, thank you very much. Now, if there are any questions or comments, I'll be happy to answer.
Thank you, Mia. Plenty of ideas from this material. I actually made a few notes for myself as well. So being selfish is truly a good thing also, so taking care of yourself first. So if you are personally feeling a bit stressed, do take care of yourself first in order to be able to provide for others. The second key point that I personally noted in my notebook is also that knowing your limits. So what is truly important, where to focus, what is actually worth striving towards, and then lastly, so what is truly important in the end. Like I said, if it is having the house as clean and tidy as possible, if that is truly important, of course. But if not, maybe skip and kind of push things under the sofa and just enjoy. But that kind of brings me to this also, the idea that the difficult thing I feel is truly having that moment to truly find the answers to those questions. So having that self-compassion, like you personally also said in the material, so being mindful of your own needs, your own wants, your own desires. And like I said, that can be a bit of a daunting thing to ask yourself. And if you are feeling a bit overwhelmed and struggle with that topic, do remember that, hey, each of you have access to Auntie's service as well, and our professionals are happy to help. So having that 45-minute long session with Auntie's professionals is truly something. It can be a Christmas present for you personally. So time for you and no one else but you. It might even help you find those answers to those questions that I personally listed in my notebook. But hey, with that, we've actually come to the end. Thank you, Mia. Very insightful presentation. And like I said in the beginning, do go and have a look at your registration page because it has been updated and we are really happy with the latest update here at Auntie. With that, we come to the end. So thank you for joining us. Hope you have a great rest of the year and enjoy your holidays. Bye.